Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm doing a review of Verdun by Dragon, that's published by Dragon Dawn Games, and it's by Ren Mutamaki. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So Verdun is a 2 vs 2 or 1 vs 1 trick-taking game that is based on the World War I Battle of Verdun, which is actually one of the longest and bloodiest battles of all time. I believe it lasted from February to December of 1916, and it had a lot of casualties. So this game is a prototype. I want to thank Dragon Dawn for sending me this prototype. It was supposed to be as a first impressions, but I'm actually doing a review of this game because it's pretty much done. Like I said, it's just a card game. So let me show you how to play, and then I'm gonna give my final thoughts on it. Okay, so this is how a game of Verdun is gonna be set up. Let me move this over here. So we're gonna have these fortifications laid out. So you got the Germans against the French. One of these is going to be randomly removed from the game at the start, and everyone's gonna have 16 cards in their hand. Now this is a 2 vs 2 game. You could also do 1 vs 1. On the 1 vs 1, you would have 16 cards each, but my teammate is going to be sitting across from me this way, and then my opponent will be to my right or my left, and then their teammate same way. It's going to be across from them. So I feel that 2 vs 2 is the main way to play, and I'll show you why. So let's go over really quickly how this game plays. We each have 16 cards. We have these fortifications here. So let's say now on my turn, I'm just going to show you what my hand looks like. So this is not really a good hand. There are two suits in this game. There's the German suit, which is going to be black, and then there's the French suit, which is going to be red with the rooster on here. So I'm going to choose, since I'm playing as the French, by the way, so I'm going to choose which fortification I want to attack. So I'll be like, all right, let's attack this one. Now, I don't have many French cards in my hand, so I have the German suit. Whatever suit I play is going to go towards the points of that team. So I have a 4 here. Now I'm trying to rely on my opponent to break through this fortification. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to play the lowest German card. And now my opponent will go next, and they're going to be like, all right, you know what? I'll play the 5. My teammate goes, and they'll be like, all right, you know what? Let's play the 9. They want to play the 9, and then my opponent right here, they're around. So you know they have this general card. I'll go over the general card in a bit and what it does. So you know what? Let's play the 3. So I chose this fortification here. It is a 0, so it's going to be 5 and 9. And now my teammate played 9, and my opponent played 3. So we're actually going to break through this fortification and get the victory point. So we only got 1 victory point here. Now both teams are going to have the same amount. You can actually set them up however you want. These are going to be the asset tokens. So you can set them up any way you want, but the fortifications are going to be set up randomly. So we actually won that round. Now if you look at the bottom left of these cards, they're going to be skulls here. These are going to be casualties. Every round there's going to be casualties because this is the Battle of Verdun. This was a very long and bloody battle. A lot of lives were lost in this battle. So what's going to happen is the loser of this trick, their highest played card is going to get killed. So here's a 4, here's a 5. So the Germans are going to lose their 5 cards. So they have 2 casualties here. The attackers, because they won, unfortunately, they still have to have a casualty. So, but we're going to lose our lowest ranked card. So it will be the 3. So we only have 1 casualty. And then these are going to be surviving cards, the 9 and the 4. But the highest surviving card, whether it was the winning side or the losing side, is going to draw a tactics card. Now, since my teammate is the one that had the highest surviving card, they're going to get this tactics card. Now, you can only have a maximum of 2 tactics cards in your hand, and they can be played right when you play the trick. I'll go over what each one does later. Right now I'm just showing you how the game plays. Now, so let's say the Germans are going to go next. They're going to be like, all right, let's attack this fortification. And so my opponent here is going to play. He's like, you know what? Let's play the French 6. And then now my teammate comes here, and they're gonna be, you know what? Let's play the French C, which is a copier card. So they're gonna copy the same rank as this. Now my opponent's gonna go here, and they're gonna say, all right, I'm gonna play my 13 and risk it. And then it will come to me, and of course, you know, I either could want to try and hope maybe have one of their higher ranked cards become a casualty, because this is a game of attrition. So I could be like, you know what, let's play the 9. So they wanted to attack this one right here. It was a 5, so a 5 is going to be added to my team's defense. So it'll be 6 and 6 is 12 plus the 5. That is 17. So they have 9, they have 13. So they actually won this trick, because the Germans have broken through. So in a way, you know, I did attribute to their victory. So they would get this token. They got 5 victory points, and they would get the fortification and the asset. Now let's go over again. So what happened? So now the offenders lost, so we are going to lose our highest ranked card. So that will be the 6. So this will go into our casualties. So I'll put our casualties right here. That died, and the Germans are going to lose their lowest, which was the 4. So they lost the casualties here, which is a 2. So that's essentially how the game plays. It's going to keep going until everyone has played a trick. So when you're done, you're going to add up all the victory points that you have. And of course, the opponents, you're going to add +1 for every fortification that was not flipped over, so that they did not take over, or and of course you would get the points that they didn't take here as well. Now comes the tricky part. Once you add all those points, you have to add up all your casualties so that you have. So they're going to be taken away from your regular victory points. So there's a very good chance both sides are going to have negative points at the end of the game. The team that has the least negative points is going to win. So let's go over some other cards in here. So these are special cards. This is the general card. So this, when you play it, it can count as a 1 or a 14. So, you know, I could be like, oh, you know what? There's a good chance this card's gonna, it's in my hand. It belongs to it's my opponent's side. I'm gonna play this as a 1 because there's a good chance it's probably going to get killed. Or if you play as a 4, so there's a lot of tactic, a lot of strategy when playing these cards. Because look, you have the 5 casualties right here if it is killed. Also, we have these green cards here. So now this is a scout. So what a scout does is it always counts as an 8 and it's in green, but that means it's going to be counting towards your side. So what the scout will do is stop the opponent from playing a tactics card, but any tactics card that's played before this one is still going to take effect. So if I play this, my opponent cannot play a tactics card for the rest of this trick. So another one I wanted to show was I believe this is called this chaplain. Excuse me. So the chaplain, what they do is they count as your side, but it only counts as a 2. So it's a risky card to play, and it has 4 skulls right here. So this is a pretty dangerous card, but there's a reason why you want to play it, because maybe, you know, you're running low on cards, and this will be a good substitute. Another one, like I showed before, was the copier. So this is just going to copy the rank of the previously played card. And of course, the last one was the general. So now let's go over the tactics cards over here that you can also play and get. So right here we have the airstrike. So what an airstrike does is when you play it with the trick, it's going to add +3 to your side's total regardless of the color of the card. Another one here is the mustard gas. So mustard gas allows each side to lose one additional card. So in a way, so like now if there was 3 German cards played, they're the ones that are going to be losing one additional card. So artillery means everyone's going to die. So every single card on the table is going to be killed, and those are going to count as casualties. But you also will still score the fortification if you've broke through the fortification. It's just that everyone is going to get lose victory points at the end of that. And then of course we have decoys right here. So what decoys do, the lowest card on your side is going to die, regardless of the outcome. And of course it's going to override artillery and mustard gas for the side that's going to be playing it. And the last one is a stratagem card. This just cancels the tactics card that was just played by the. It's a reaction card. So if somebody plays a tactical card, you can play this stratagem card. Another thing I didn't go over is if every single card that's played is the same suit, there are no casualties. And that's pretty much, that's the game. The game is going to end once everyone has played their card. Of course, you can play in rounds if you want. But yeah, that's it. This is a very quick, simple trick-taking game. So let me go over what I think about it. And that's Verdun. So let's go over my likes and dislikes. Like any other trick-taking game or card game, you're going to have that randomness. You know, you're going to be dealt a good hand, maybe, or a bad hand. You know, maybe a mediocre hand. It's going to happen in these type of games. But what Verdun does differently is now you're dealt this bad hand. You have mostly German cards. So now tactically you have to figure out, how am I going to utilize these cards in my hand that are mostly German cards and try to turn them into casualties. That's where the teamwork comes in. You know, when your teammate sees that you're constantly playing German cards, they're like, okay, maybe my teammate has a lot of German cards in his hand. There's nothing he can do. I gotta try, and they're gonna try and do the same thing. Try to turn those into casualty cards, whether it's playing a tactical card or maybe a card in their hand that will help you win the trick, or maybe it all depends. This game is different in what it does. Another thing I dislike was the tactic cards need a little bit of tweaking, but I reached out to Dragon Dawn. They are going to fix it. They are going to work on the writing a little bit. They're going to put it in the player aid, because the mustard gas card had me a little confused. The way it was written, they are going to fix it. They're going to put examples on the player aids. So, no, again, not a big deal at all. What I really liked about Verdun is how different it is from other trick-taking games. You know, I really like the crew. I really like Cat in the Box. Both of them are different in what they do. You know, you have Skull King, Ghost of Christmas. Even though those are essentially almost the same game, Verdun sticks out when it comes to trick-taking games because it's different. This is a game of attrition. You're gonna get those victory points. 90% chance though, your team is gonna have a negative score at the end of this game. So the whole point of this game is, yeah, you're trying to penetrate, get those points, but you want to make sure that other team has as many casualties as you do. So how does that fit in thematically? Because this is a card game, and it's got the World War I theme pasted on it. But like I stated before, the Battle of Verdun was probably the bloodiest battle in history. It went from February to December of 1916. And, you know, that's 10 months of fighting. A lot of people lost their lives. A lot of soldiers lost their lives in this battle. So that's where the attrition gameplay comes in. You know, it's trying to fit in thematically the way this battle took place. Again, is it particularly strong? No, but no. Other trick-taking games aren't strong. The crew's theme is just pasted on, but who cares? This game is a lot of fun. Everybody I played with really enjoyed it, and they all had the same opinion as I did, is that it was different, and it's very tactical. And I really liked that whole mechanism of how am I going to try to, have this card become a casualty. Those general cards could hurt you really bad. And, you can try and use it on as yourself for your team. And sometimes The opponent's gonna play artillery card. Everybody gets killed. Now that's five casualties in your team's deck. So I really like that aspect of this game. Again, the art on the cards is from World War I propaganda, so they are actual World War I propaganda posters on the card, which I like a lot. As a history buff, as a history major, you appreciate seeing stuff like that. So Verdun is going to get an 8.5 out of 10 from me. This is a great trick-taking game that I highly, highly recommend that you get. It is on Kickstarter at the moment. I'm going to post a link in the description section, so you could go and back this game. It is inexpensive. It is not an expensive game at all. So it's not going to hurt your pocket. That's why I highly, highly recommend this game. Especially if you're a fan of trick-taking games, this is going to be right up your alley. It's going to be something different for you, and it's going to be a challenge. Also, I think World War I enthusiasts might enjoy it a lot too. Again, that theme. Again, even though it's not particularly strong, World War I enthusiasts are going to see that theme come out in that whole Battle of Attrition, the Attrition gameplay. So yeah, highly recommend Verdun. I can't recommend it enough. Please like and subscribe. Help this little channel grow. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I always answer each and every single one of you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, have a great one.